Hello and welcome to the Lyman Wolf podcast. I am your host, Raceland, and I'm joined today by my co-host, Nate. What's going on, bud?
Not much really. Just having a tough time coming up with this idea.
Well, that's good, because I want you to use some of that brain power of yours, because we are going to be doing franchises combined together. We're combining franchises together. And what I mean is that we're going to take any franchise, whether it be a video game, movie, a TV show, literally anything you want it to be, and combine it together in some way. It could be an amalgamation, like creating a whole new thing, or it could be as simple as just like a crossover. So you said you had some troubles with this one, Nate?
Yes. It took me quite a while to come up with these four.
You went with 4. I got 2, but I'm going to go into the pretty good detail of mine, so.
And I'm probably not going to go into too much detail with mine.
No, I'm not going to go into much detail. I got like 4 bullet points. All right, so since it's my idea, I'm going to go ahead and just go first.
Alrighty.
And I'm going to start with my amalgamation. I decided to go and pick out video games. Since I know video games is a pretty big discussion on this podcast, we talk about it all the time. I'm going to combine 2 franchises into one amalgamated video game that I think would be pretty cool. And that is, I know you're not a fan of these games, but Metroid Prime. Have you ever played a Metroid Prime game? Like any Metroid. Have you ever played a Metroid game?
Yes, a long time ago.
Which one did you play?
The original.
Oh, it was like the old like Super Nintendo Metroid?
Yeah.
Okay. I played Metroid Zero Mission, and that was really fun. And then I played Metroid Dread, and that one just angered me.
Okay.
But no, my amalgamation is Metroid Prime, so the first-person shooter Metroid games that came out on the GameCube. And Skyrim. So Metroid Prime and Skyrim. That is my amalgamation. So what I'm thinking is it's basically going to be an open-world Metroid game with like RPG aspects. I was thinking like a sci-fi fantasy style game. You could have like Samus have more of like fantasy style themes. You could have her like, instead of just doing like upgrades, like normally in Metroid games you would get an upgrade and it'd be like, you got a new blaster, you got some new armor. That I was thinking it could be like magical themed. So like you have like magical based upgrades. You know, kind of like when you go into Skyrim, you'll be like, oh, you can use lightning magic, or you can use like orc flesh to have like a magical barrier or something like that. Her upgrades could have more mechanically magical themes.
Okay. So like a sci-fi mix with fantasy magic.
Yeah. And so the thought process was for the story is that she could be going to a new planet, because Samus, I don't know if you understand, she's a bounty hunter. She goes to planets and she defeats the aliens. Usually it's the Metroids, and there's like pirates and stuff, space pirates.
Ridley.
Yeah, stuff like that. And so her goal is to go there, rid the world of the aliens. Oh, any hardcore Metroid fans, if I'm wrong, call me out, because I know like the bare minimum of Metroid. I'm going by what I've experienced throughout the 2 games that I've played. But yeah, so from what I understand, she just goes to the planet, she gets rid of the alien invasion, and tries to defeat the space pirates. That's from what I understand. So I was thinking she could be going to a new planet that's more of a magical-based planet instead of an alien-based planet. And she'd have to fight fantasy-themed aliens invading the peaceful planet. I don't have a name for the planet, it's just a planet. So I was thinking it would be like a peaceful race on the planet, and some like aliens, some are invading it, and you land there to defend the planet, and you get like magical themed stuff. So the planet is rich in magic instead of it being rich in like science like it normally is.
Yeah.
So maybe Samus there said like retrieve some like magical artifact, and she gets caught up in the invasion. So she's like she could be going to the planet to like her bounty is to collect this magical artifact. And when she lands, like, oh crap, there's an alien invasion invading these peaceful people. I feel like it's my duty to stop them, kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so it turned. So I was thinking for the planet, for the people to the planet, like in Skyrim, you know how the whole thing was like, you're the Dragonborn. you are the chosen one to save us from the evil dragon, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that the lore on the planet that she lands on is that there is a chosen hero fated to save the planet from an evil threat, and Samus is the chosen hero. In her mind, she just went there to get the magic artifact, but it was fated for the hero to land there and save the planet. So they say.
I would love for like the pictures of the fated one to just be an orange ball. And they're like, oh, she can't be the chosen one. And then she just turns into the ball that she's able to. And they're like, oh! Like,
the chosen one has arrived.
The mark of the chosen one.
With the little lightning bolt symbol.
That'd be pretty funny.
So yeah, I was thinking that she would just like be like, no, you've got the wrong person. But it's like, there's a statue with like a person with a gun or something. And they're like, you are the hero. They're like, damn it, I don't want to be a hero.
Yeah. Okay, I can dig that.
Yeah, and so for her looks and stuff, I was thinking give her armor more of a magical look. And basically, in every Metroid game, she loses most of her gear in the very beginning. That's the way they can be like, oh, you can't start out as an OP bounty hunter. Something happened where you lost all of your abilities. You lost all your gear. So I'm guessing she could land, and some like I said, she gets caught up in the alien invasion. It's maybe something like takes her ship down and she loses everything. So instead of it, you going to collecting all your pieces, she could have to start out with nothing, and she would go around and get like magical powers instead. So she'd be like, well, I lost my blaster cannon, so I'm going to have to use this magical new cannon with some like elemental attribute or something along those lines.
Gains the gauntlet of the chosen one.
Yes, something along that, like something that's natural mana to the planet. And so she has to learn
Excalibur.
Samus with Excalibur, like, ah! But no, she gets powers and stuff throughout the planet, and then that's how she defeats the alien invasion and saves the people and becomes a hero and stuff. I don't know, I thought it was a really cool idea. Yeah, Samus mixed with Skyrim, kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, Star Ocean franchise has done a really good job of being able to pull off super high sci-fi kind of stuff, going to planets that are super underdeveloped and mainly lean on magic. I've
never played Star Ocean. What is Star Ocean?
Star Ocean's a JRPG basically, but
like a turn-based game.
Yeah.
Okay, well, cool.
I think that depends on which game, because not all the games have the same combat.
I'm a huge sucker for JRPG turn-based games.
Star Ocean: The Last Hope is the one I'm more familiar with, and it's not a turn-based. It's you control all of the characters, you can switch between them at the same time, but it's free combat.
It kind of, what you're describing kind of makes me think of the game Xenoblade, where it's, you could change out your party, but your combat is a hack and slash.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I could easily see Metroid being able to pull off a sci-fi meeting a fantasy civilization kind of thing.
Yeah, but with the party thing, Samus is notoriously fights alone. So
yeah, the party thing, that's just the Star Ocean thing. I mean, just the fact that you don't have too many franchises combining sci-fi meeting underdeveloped worlds, like fantasy and stuff, societies. Yeah. But when it does, I think it works really well. So I think this is a good pick.
Yeah, and with the open world aspect, I was thinking because Metroid Prime is not an open world game. From what I remember, I played a tiny bit of it. It's more of a exploration linear game.
There's always a first time for everything.
Right. Yeah, so, I mean, they did it with the recent Pokemon game, and it turned out pretty dang well. They did it recently with Breath of the Wild, turned out pretty well. Now it's time for Metroid.
Sonic?
No. Okay, alright. A little side tangent about Sonic. I started Sonic Frontiers. I'm a huge Sonic fan, and I was not a huge fan of that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was thinking you can get, like, Samus side missions, help out the people of the planet, defeat aliens, upgrade stuff, typical open world stuff.
my very limited experience with like an open world first person bounty hunting game is a game called Oddworld Stranger's Wrath.
Never heard of that game.
I think you would like it.
Really?
It's a fun game, great funny story, and the main character is like if Clint Eastwood met an alien.
Huh.
But yeah, that's what I'm picturing in my head when you're describing this. But with Samus instead of the Stranger's Wrath.
But yeah, that's my first pick. That's my amalgamation of what I think would be a really cool video game. So what you got next?
All right, so since I've figured out 4 of these ideas, I'm gonna just do 2 of my sort of amalgamations.
Okay.
The first one they're both video games also.
All right.
One is an amalgamation of Red Dead Redemption, because I've been playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption online.
You've been playing the crap out of that.
Combined with Assassin's Creed.
Oh, all I picture is like, all right, boys, we gotta go get them our bounty, and he just leaps off like a leap of faith off of like a tower.
Sort of.
Get them! Pow, 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 pow.
Also combined with the Arkham series.
Like Batman?
Yes.
All right, boys, let's go. Grappling hook.
Here, again, sort of. Here's how I'm imagining it. I'm wanting a Red Dead Redemption game, or the base of it would be like Assassin's Creed style.
So would it be open world just like Red Dead? Okay.
Yes, it's open world just like all 3 of these game franchises usually are. I'm wanting the stealth from Assassin's Creed, because one of the things like in Red Dead Redemption Online, there is stealth, but it's not great stealth. I'm wanting Assassin's Creed stealth in this.
So are you wanting him to have like a hidden blade too with his guns?
No.
Okay.
Like, so in the game or in Red Dead Redemption Online, you have like throwing knives, you have tomahawks, you have bows. You have weapons for silent kills.
If I remember right, real fast.
They're not great.
If I remember right, isn't there a version of Batman in the comics who is a cowboy?
Yes.
I'm just picturing that. Him being like, I am vengeance, I am the night. Yo! And like throws a lasso.
There is okay. So again, hold on. In Red Dead Redemption Online, there's also bounties. Some of those bounties you have to track down your bounty by following their footsteps. I'm wanting Batman Arkham style detective work kind of thing built into that. And
all I'm picturing is you trying to like, oh crap, they've noticed me. My stealth is broken. I gotta get out of here. And then instead of Batman, where he can like grab a hook and onto a tower, he's like, ching, and he has to like climb. He has to climb like a tree, like.
Exactly that. No. So I'm also wanting here's the cameo and crossover amalgamation kind of aspects to it. I would love for them to throw in little nods to like the ancestors of well-known Gotham characters to be in this game, and the villains be members of the Templars.
Now you see that over there? That's the Dent family. You don't want to mess with the Dent family. They're a bunch of two-faced cowards.
Exactly. Like the Dent family be some city family that are just really high society.
The Dent family, they'll double cross you in a heartbeat. Those are two-faced bastards over there.
Their son is like the leader of a underground gang or something, so he has the high society look, but he also has the darker side.
You don't want to mess with them over there. That's the Scarecrow clan. They're over there working with dark magics and potions.
Exactly. The Scarecrows could be in the swamps and be more like the bayou. They could be more like shamanistic, just moonshiners kind of feel.
Have you heard of Bruce? Bruce over there. He's got all the gold in the world. But he's over there, he just hides in a cave.
The Wayne family are like I want them to be in it, but they won't be like a prevalent thing. You are your own character still. You are not a member of
You see
the
that
main
cowboy
family.
over there? He has some weird contraption on his arm where he shoots out blades.
Yeah. So in Red Dead Redemption, you have bolas, and I'm wanting to have like little battering bolas thing. That would be hilarious,
dude. I just picture this entire game just being a walking meme. It's gonna be so funny.
Totally. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have to say for that one.
That's pretty funny.
And it's purely because I've been playing this game for so much lately that it's kind of just been on my brain. So when I was trying to think of ideas, like my head just kept going to what do I want to combine with this game. The second one though is something that I feel would do a lot better.
You don't want a walking meme game?
No, I do want a walking meme. I just don't think it would be good.
Dude, it would have to be like a free to play game.
Yeah. So the second game I have is Marvel and Mortal Kombat joining forces.
So
like
instead of it
Kombat
being
in DC.
yes, instead of that, would it be a fighting game?
Yes. Straight up fighting game where you get to see finishers from the X-Men and Avengers and all of them.
Dude, I want to see a really dark Captain America use a shield to just like decapitate somebody.
Exactly. Like he's a soldier. He will do this. Like this is in his wheelhouse.
I could do this all day.
Exactly. But for my story in this is that the universes are colliding together and the characters have smashed into become one another.
The rise of Dark Claw.
Yeah. So that's actually when you said you wanted to do a franchise amalgamation, that was my first thought. I was like, oh, yeah, like that comics, those
that
comics
you hate
that Marvel and DC did. I don't hate all of them. I just don't like the look of Dark Claw.
Okay, if you don't know who Dark Claw is, he is an amalgamation version of Batman and Wolverine. He looks horrendous, and he has serrated claws. He's terrible looking.
And if I remember correctly, his name, I think, is Logan Wayne.
Oh, yeah. Because that's original.
I will say his villain, the Hyena, is decent. Like a combination of Sabretooth and the Joker.
Dude, I feel like any Mortal Kombat character that gets paired up with someone like Kitty Pryde, broken, just dead, like destroyed.
Yeah. Well, so here's what I'm thinking: you start the game with the base roster, which is just Mortal Kombat characters and Marvel characters. But as you play, you play the game and you do the storyline for each character, that's when you unlock their amalgamation versions of themselves.
Who are you, like, name off a couple you were thinking for amalgamated.
So this is the issue. I thought of this idea last night, right before I fell asleep. I was like, oh yeah. I don't have any ideas on who I would combine other than two.
I feel like you have to do Raiden and Thor.
That would make a lot of sense.
Right? Like, that's what fans are going to expect.
But also, they're like, I can't really see that changing them at all.
No, it's just Thor more lightning.
Yeah.
He has like a new hat.
Or Raiden with a hammer. Like, it's not really a change on either one of the characters.
You unlock Deadpool, and Deadpool's so self-aware that he's like, oh, look at you guys.
Oh, what if you could choose who you amalgamate at the end of their story? So each person would have a unique amalgamation.
Be cool. Imagine there being like so many different combinations you could do.
Exactly. Like you have the base roster.
How many? All right, real quick. How many people are you thinking per team? So how many Marvel? How many are you doing? Like 12 and 12?
All right, 1 second. I want to say 20 per team.
God, that's 40 people. That's like, that's over like 400 combinations or something like that.
I would be fine with that. More customization.
There's no way that would ever be developed ever.
Well, yeah. First off, I'm not planning on any of my games actually getting developed. This is purely a dream thing.
I know it is, but it's just like, can you imagine being like, guys, all right, all right, squad, we have a new new game to build. They're like, all right, cool. We're doing basically DC versus Mortal Kombat with Marvel. They're like, oh, you can combine anybody. So I'm gonna need like 400 characters. Wait, what?
You can only develop them, or you can only combine them if you do their storylines. Though, so
I know, but the developers would have such a field day with having to create this many combinations of characters.
I mean, yeah, but you could also submit like, hey, we're doing this. Does anybody want to submit fan art? Like, anybody have any ideas?
That's what Nintendo needs to do with Pokemon. Like,
exactly.
I've been saying this for years. There are so many talented artists out there to do fake Pokemon, fake mons. Nintendo needs to be like, submit some shit, and we'll take your shit and we'll put it in the game. They need to do that with this game.
Yeah, that is how I imagine it going. Is simply like, we need combinations. Here's the base roster for each team. Go at it.
All right, here's my important 3 characters of Marvel, because these are my 3 favorite characters. Who's getting paired up with the Punisher, Spider-Man, and Venom?
I would, for Punisher, go Cabal.
Ooh, that's one of my favorite characters in Mortal Kombat, too. I'm not the biggest Mortal Kombat guy, but when I play Mortal Kombat, I love playing as Cabal.
Because Punisher would become a speedster with guns and
Which
hooks.
is why I like Cabal, because he's a speedster. I love speedsters.
Spider-Man.
What about Liu Kang? Isn't it? Is it Liu Kang the guy?
Yeah, Liu Kang is the original main character of the franchise. I believe story-wise, he's like a zombie dragon king now.
Scorpion?
That I was gonna say Sub-Zero for him.
Sub-Zero and Cabal are my 2 favorite Mortal Kombat characters.
Because you could do ice webs that dissolve afterwards.
I like that.
And
then Venom.
And it would be Venom would be the Venom Scorpion.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
That would be a great little rivalry combo kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, I like that. This is a cool idea. Really good choice, man.
Here's one of the biggest issues I had to come up with this is I want X-Man to be a part of this.
Nobody cares about some D-list characters from the comics, bro.
X-Man is one of the most powerful characters.
I'm sorry, is he in the MCU and do people know who he is? No, I didn't think so.
Okay, if we're going off the MCU, then we're not going to be able to fill out the roster. I'm just
kidding. You could have been like Cyclops, Wolverine. Nah, you're picking some like X-Men that nobody knows.
He's known as like Marvel Jesus, I believe.
Yeah, but people don't, like, casual fans don't know that. Even people that are out, like, just watch the MCU, they at least know who, like, Cyclops, maybe Kitty Pryde, Wolverine, like, they know who those guys are.
And that's why we need him in this game, so people know him better.
Do you remember the old X-Men game, Rise of the Imperfects?
That was a great game.
No, that had X-Men that nobody's ever heard of, and they never saw the light of day again.
I loved that game. Like, that was a fun game.
That game was terrible.
Evil clone versions of all the Marvel characters with like green poison ivy veins. Like, that looks sick.
Oh my gosh.
Right,
overall, I like your idea.
That was my overall idea for
take away X-Man, everything else is great.
Over 400 combinations.
It's ridiculous.
Okay, the reason I thought of that though is because I was like, okay, what game has probably like the most character roster? Smash, I think. Doesn't it have like 100 or something?
I think there's over 100 now. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, let's ramp that up.
Speaking of Smash, you're lucky I didn't. This is not my pick for my next one, but I have in my notes for my personal notes of I have a Disney Super Smash Bros. And an entire roster, and it's got like over 100 people, and I was like, I'm not gonna go through all that on the podcast. But I would love to see a Disney Smash Bros. Game.
Yeah, that would be fun. I would go for that.
Like, maybe one day we'll dive deep into that, but probably not.
I would love to play like Milo Thatch or something.
He like just summons like a book, like hold on, and it just like explodes.
Yeah, like perfect. So speaking of your next pick, though, what would your next pick be?
Okay, so my next pick is a crossover. And
Okay.
my crossover is technically multiple games, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. But that's all right. I don't care. It's my pick. So I want to see Kingdom Hearts visit video game worlds.
Okay.
And I got some examples of what I'm talking about. So I'm going to start at the bottom because that's not my wish, my number one wish.
Real quick, I can already tell you how this would work later on.
Oh, yeah? How so?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna let you go because you may already know.
Okay. So my first one is I want him to visit the Legend of Zelda world.
Okay.
I want to see this world to be pretty straightforward. Sora would visit the world of Hyrule and have to team up with Link to take down the Heartless. Pretty, hero team up with hero stuff. I can see Ganon using his magic to summon Heartless and plague the world of Hyrule.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that easily.
So Sora and Link would have to defeat the hordes of Zelda monsters and the Heartless to save Hyrule. I picture it going along the lines of how in Hyrule Warriors, you just defeat hordes and hordes of monsters and stuff. I could see it not playing like that, but in Kingdom Hearts games, especially Kingdom Hearts 3, there is a world where you have to fight just like a giant horde of Heartless. I could see it being like amalgamated Heartless Zelda monsters.
Okay.
And it's, you just take down that army kind of thing, because Ganon's army has invaded Hyrule.
And obviously, you would have the Master Keyblade.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
I feel like I should have saved this for one of my actual videos, because I feel like a lot of fans would love to see a full video of this, but that's all right. We'll do it on the podcast.
I mean, you can add this to an actual video. Be like, we actually just delved into this in a podcast I do.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
But, so my next pick is a world that I know that you have never, or a game you've never played. I know for a fact you've never played it, because it's the PlayStation exclusive.
Okay, yeah.
And that is the game Gravity Rush. Do you know
I
anything?
don't even think I've heard of it.
Okay, Gravity Rush. All right, I'm going to try to explain this. It's been a very long time since I played. But the game is you play as a girl named Kat, and she has the ability to control gravity. And you have to go around defeating these creatures called the Nevi, I think they're called, the Nevi. And you have to basically save the world from them. It's kind of like Sora with Heartless, basically. But she has gravity.
Hey, listen.
No,
hey.
Not Navi. Nevi. So yeah, the game feels a lot like this is a game that people don't know much about. In the game, the Gravity Rush, the civilians are being terrorized by creatures known as the Nevi, which are strange race of monsters that are generally colored black, purple, or white with red cores. And you basically, in the game, you use your gravity powers to float up, and you can change the flow of gravity and just basically slam into them. You can make yourself really heavy and dense and slam into them and defeat them with really powerful kicks and stuff. The game is cool. This was introduced I think it was introduced as a Vita game to introduce their quote unquote motion controls, and it didn't work well. And then they brought it a remastered version to PS4. That's the one I played.
Okay.
And you could just use, controls, normal controls. But I was thinking for the crossover, it would be cool to see Sora team up with the main character Kat, who has the ability to control gravity. You could see the Heartless invading their world and taking form of the Nevi, and Sora and Kat would have to take down both threats. Heartless and Nevi team up to defeat, try to take over that world, and you'd have to defeat both versions.
Okay.
I think it'd be really cool. If you ever get a chance, Nate, you should look up some little gameplay of the game, Gravity Rush. It is such a cool, underrated game. There's actually 2 games even. It was good enough to even get a sequel. It's such a good game. And I really wish people would play it more often.
It sounds very interesting. Looking at the art style.
Oh, the art style is awesome. That's another huge
like
perk of the art is awesome.
Yeah, it looks like it has a very unique kind of cel-shaded art style.
Yeah,
with beautiful background.
Sony needs to embrace this game more and make it more prevalent into the eye, because I love this game.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, so that is my second pick for a Kingdom Hearts video game world. My third one would be, again, I said this so much on my channel, but nobody likes this game. Final Fantasy 15. Not
And
that's
and which one is that?
that is the one where it's a car ride with your buddies.
Ah, the road trip.
Yeah, the road trip game. I've always said the Final Fantasy 15 is my favorite Final Fantasy game, which is like the biggest hot take of all Square Enix. So having Sora team up with Noctis and the gang to defeat the Heartless and the demons would be a super cool. You could have Sora, Goofy, and Donald just chill in the car with Noctis, like, come on, guys. Oh, boy, let's go. Like, everybody's just, like, chilling in the car, going on a ride, and they're like, we got to defeat all these demons and stuff and these Heartless. Let's take them down. Because, like, without getting into spoilers of Final Fantasy 15, the game starts out with just, like, oh, I'm a prince who's trying to find his way into the world, trying to be a better king kind of thing. And it's just you going on a road trip with your buddies. And it takes like a massive world-ending dark turn towards like halfway through the game. I'm feeling that's where we're going to be going with Sora in the game.
Okay. Real quick question. Has Kingdom Hearts ever done a like main world being a Final Fantasy world?
No, and if you watch my video on this channel, on Limelight channel, of my Kingdom Hearts 4 world wish list, I dive into it where I'm talking about how I'd love to see a Final Fantasy world, and I think it is 15 that I even mentioned, because they are hinting at, these are all rumors, keep in mind, all rumors, that they might step away from Disney worlds and maybe dive into Square Enix worlds. Again, I don't think it's going to happen, because Disney is like the key draw to Kingdom Hearts fans.
Yeah.
But it would definitely be interesting to see some like Final Fantasy worlds.
That is why I played 1 and 2, because I've always wanted to go into Disney World, so.
Yeah. So I got 2 more. Do you want to do another one of yours and I can get back to mine, or you want me to just finish them out?
Sure, I can throw one of my last 2 out there.
I'll save my top 2 for Kingdom Hearts after Nate does his. So go ahead, Nate.
Alright, so this is kind of a throwout, a crossover between Supernatural and Hellboy.
Hellboy, like the demon with the gun?
Yes.
Heck yeah.
And for this one, I would go with both a comic book series and a live action series.
Now, doesn't Supernatural actually have comic books?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, I need to read those, man.
I could be wrong, but
I think I've seen it. I think I've seen it like on the internet before. On the World Wide Web. But yeah, that sounds like a cool.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that sounds like a cool crossover. I just imagine. Now, wait. We talking end of the series, season 15, Sam and Dean? Or are we talking about mid-series where they're still kind of like demons are evil, kill them all, kind of thing?
So one of the things about Hellboy is that Hellboy doesn't really do like full-on storylines of an actual timeline.
Okay.
It's more along lines of pockets of his life, tales of his cases, kind of thing.
Well, my main reason why I asked that is because Sam and Dean see Hellboy. They're gonna be like, "Oh shit, we need to kill that guy."
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, they are kind of buddy with Crowley.
But that's why I asked. We talking end of the series, Sam and Dean, or mid-season, who are still like, Sam and Dean are like, all demons are evil. We need to kill all demons.
I'm going to say mid-season, because we could even say like at the very beginning of the series, like they met Hellboy, befriended him, and they'd still be super aggressive against demons. They have proven this time and time again. They can make friends with monsters and just forget that they have friends that are monsters. So,
real quick, you said it's a crossover, right?
Yes.
So are we talking other dimension stuff? Because demons in Hellboy and demons in Sam and Dean's universe are very different. Yeah, yes. Extremely different.
Yes, this would be a dimensional thing. Kind of like the thing where they ended up into our reality.
Don't get into spoilers of Supernatural, because there are people out there that want to watch it.
Okay. First off, this is a very, very early episode.
If you're talking about the one I think you're talking about, we're talking season 5, so.
Oh, how many? Really? It felt like so long ago.
When they introduced, I would without getting when they introduced the angelic part of the series, that was season 4.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, there was 3 whole seasons before that introduction. And that was the season after they introduced all that.
It feels like that just became the whole show, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, the reason why I know that for a pretty solid fact is because that's my favorite episode of Supernatural. The one you're talking about is my favorite episode. So I know what season it's in.
So something along that happens. But instead of them doing that, it's Hellboy going to their reality. So he's trying to get back to his
I just picture Hellboy like some like vampires coming at Sam and Dean, like surrounded, like, oh god, Sam, what are we gonna do? And all of a sudden, there's like the vampire just explodes.
Yeah,
and then you see Hellboy with this giant gun, like, man, the monsters on your world are fucking weak.
Yeah, like you got a cigar I can borrow.
And he sees like the demons, and he's like, these are your guys' demons? Pathetic.
Yeah, like, your eyes just change color. That's it. Huh.
You don't have like stone arms or like limbs or wings. You guys are weak.
Like, I could get a fiery crown if I wanted to be the evil. Like,
nice to meet you. I'm Crowley, King of Hell. You're King of Hell? Come on.
He's just like, maybe it wouldn't be such a bad idea to take control of hell.
Maybe I can rule this hell. This hell sucks.
Yeah, like I can make things so much better here. It would be such a fun interaction, I think. And obviously because they would have a misunderstanding because it's Sam and Dean, they would attack him at first. And after
Sam and Dean would come up with their again, try not to get into too much spoilers, but try to come with their demon knife, and it just goes cling. He's like, that was cute.
Yeah. Like,
that demon knife don't work on me. I'm not a demon.
Yeah, like, what are you doing What are you doing against me? Well, he is a demon.
I know, but he's not their demon. It probably wouldn't work on them.
I don't know how the true implications of the demon knife's ability.
Does the demon knife work on every dimensional demon?
Yeah, they have not shown that. But it would be, he has fought people that use blades before, so he would be able to probably handle himself against someone wielding a knife.
They'd be like, get him, Sam! Ah! And then he'd pull out his giant pistol like, boys, you need to knock this off or I'm going to blast you in the next week.
He'd just be like, settle down, kids.
He shoots a blast, it like puts a crater next to them, and he's like, you really want to keep going, guys? You want to keep this up? By the way, my only like knowledge of Hellboy are those 2 Hellboy movies. Yeah, that's it. And those movies are great. They're corny and great.
They are great. I
never watched the remake.
Was all right.
I heard I heard terrible things about that movie.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as the others, but it was okay.
Didn't the remake try to take itself really serious?
It tried to combine seriousness with comedy, and it did not do a very good job of leveling the two out. It went more into seriousness, and some of the jokes kind of fell flat because they came off as serious.
I don't remember the actor's name, but the guy who played Hellboy in the originals.
Yes, like Ron Perlman.
Dude, that dude was spot on perfect for that role. Like, I can't imagine a better Hellboy than that guy.
He was the Dreamcast for Hellboy. And still is the Dreamcast for Hellboy, because the guy who played him, while did do a pretty good job, in my opinion, just did not measure up.
I feel like it's the same way people rate the Han Solo movie. Like, the guy played an okay Han Solo, but he just doesn't measure up to Harrison Ford.
Yeah. Agreed. No, I can agree with that. So, yeah, that's my throwaway for that one is Supernatural and Hellboy crossover.
Cool. So I guess I'll get back to my Kingdom Hearts worlds, and we will do my top 2. These are the top worlds I think would be spot on perfect for Kingdom Hearts. So number 2 is the game that you've never played yet again. It's a Nintendo product, and it is Xenoblade. You ever played the Xenoblade Chronicles at all? Ever even heard anything about them?
I know, I've seen them. I've never played them.
For people out there that don't even know what that game is, if you play Super Smash Bros., it's the game where Shulk is from. Yeah. And I think the world of Xenoblade is a beautiful world. I'd love to see Sora team up with Shulk to take down the Mechon. The bad guys in the Xenoblade world are called Mechons. They're like giant mechanical creatures. They're sentient mechanical creatures.
Okay.
So I picture the Mechon could be dabbling in like some like stuff, like either it'd be magic, science, whatever, and they now have the ability to summon Heartless. So in the, again, without getting into spoilers of Xenoblade, the main bad of the Mechons has the ability to like create more Mechons, and he can just create life, mechanical life. And I figured instead of that, he could be like summoning Heartless.
I could see that. That would be an interesting take.
The Mechons come in lots of different shapes and sizes. They're normally like a dark blue and gold metallic armor, visibly working like mechanical parts underneath. Basically like living robotic enemies. So I'd love to see like heartless, like darkness versions of mechanical beings. I think it'd be really cool. Like, because we've seen in Kingdom Hearts games where Sora doesn't just fight Heartless. Like in Kingdom Hearts 2, he fights the zombified pirates and the Pirates of the Caribbean world. They're like covered in darkness, or
he fights the enemies of their world.
Right. So I could see him fighting these mechanical, dark created Mechons. That'd be so cool. Xenoblade,
some pretty cool art style, interesting as well.
Xenoblade has a huge, deep story that I'm not gonna really spoil, but I'm not gonna go into it. But I would love to see Kingdom Hearts dive into that story, like kind of like intertwine it, because the Xenoblade Chronicles. I played the Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition on the Switch.
Yeah,
I know that the Definitive has added a little bit more than the original on the Wii. Dude, that is one of the best JRPG stories I've ever played. I love that game so much. I think I put like 90 hours into that game.
Okay.
But yeah, I would love any JRPG fans out there. Please agree with me. This would be such a cool world for Sora and the gang to go to. So that's my second place. You want me to go ahead and do my first place? Just knock it out?
Yeah.
All right.
Knock it out.
So my number one pick should not come to any surprise to you, Nate, whatsoever. And that would be the world of Persona 5.
You're right. That does not surprise me. But I also I think that would be a really sick one, because you could go into like Sora's mind and whatnot.
Right. So for you, all of you don't know, Persona 5 Royal, specifically the Royal version, is my favorite video game of all time. Kingdom Hearts is second, a really close second, but Persona 5 Royal is my favorite video game ever created. I've put over 200 hours into that game. I love that game so much. The anime styles would match up so well with the anime style of Sora and the anime style of Joker. You put him in that world, that's my dream. I want Persona 5 world more than I want new Disney worlds. Like, okay. I would, having Sora team up with the team and the protagonist, which is Joker, defeat the Heartless, plaguing the cognitive world of the metaverse, having him go into people's palaces. Oh, and the story of, again, not getting into spoilers, the story of Persona, you have to fight like a cognitive being. It would be such a cool experience for Sora. Sora's teamed up with magical beings, Disney beings, a bunch of different styles of things, but he's never done like psychology style beings. It's plaguing the cognitive world. That'd be so sick. And that's my number one. I would love to see that.
I'm just imagining Goofy and Donald becoming Sora's personas.
Like, Sora goes in there like, all right, Joker, let's go. And it's just like, and it's like a Sora, it's got Donald pops up as your persona.
That would be hilarious.
It kind of makes me think of when, for Kingdom Hearts fans out there, the Kingdom Hearts game Chain of Memories, where Sora and Donald became card summons instead of being your party. You summon them like cards. It would be that, but with personas.
I think that would be a pretty fun one.
Or can you imagine Donald and Goofy getting their own personas? So in every game, every Persona game, your side character. So Joker and all the other Persona games, the main character has the ability to summon any persona. That's the whole thing, is you can switch out your personas. It's a rare, quote-unquote, rare ability. Everybody else in your team has a specific
unique.
Persona unique to their, whether it be their design, whether it be their personality, it's unique to them.
Yeah.
Just imagine what Donald and Goofy's persona would be.
For Goofy, I feel like it's obvious. It's just a giant, like, German Shepherd that's super loyal, made out of shields.
Like, it's basically the shield Pokemon from Sword and Shield.
Yeah, like it's just a giant good boy with a shield.
And Donald's just an angry duck.
Yeah, but like a Digimon version because it has to be extra.
And he has like 4 arms, like four wings, all holding staffs, like.
Yeah, like the Quadra spell.
And it just like lightning, ice, and fire just like rain down on you.
Yeah, like they would be pretty cool personas, not gonna lie.
Yeah, but that is my number one pick.
What would Sora's main unique persona be?
Persona is actually just a combination of a bunch of personas, and it's the power of friendship.
I was thinking more like if you go for just hilarity, just be a blank slate.
No, it's got to be some kind of keymaster kind of guy. You know, it would be that.
Oh, what if he was to be able to summon like a Keyblade Knight from the past?
That, or if you don't know much about Kingdom Hearts, in Kingdom Hearts 2, you had drives. You could like turn into Wisdom form, Valor form, all that different forms.
Oh yeah.
But if you did it too many times, you would have a negative form, a darkness form show up.
Mm-hmm.
That could be his persona.
Okay.
The darkness anti-Sora show up like persona, and it's just like rains darkness on his enemies. It'd be like the anti-Sora would be his persona.
I feel like the anti-Sora would be better for the Blue Dragon franchise, because it's the Blue Dragon franchise. You're literally summoning basically personas. They're animals, and they're made out of your shadows.
Oh, okay, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I would go sick with the what was the silver?
Oh, the ultimate form, where you had the Saiki like floating around you and stuff.
Oh no, the Super Smash Steamboat Willie form.
No, stop.
Yes, that'd be hilarious.
No, I agree with you though. His persona would be some Keyblade master from the Keyblade War and his armor and stuff.
Yeah. Or just how Sora sees himself.
Oh, no. What if his persona is kind of like Kingdom Hearts summons, where they're like summon, a friend, and it would be this animation of him like doing attacks. It would be summoning the people in his heart, so Roxas, Xeon, and Ven just team up as one to do an attack. They would be his personas, the people in his heart.
I'd be okay with that.
But yeah, that's my number one pick. I would love to see that. Nate, I think you said you have one more?
Yes, and there's not much to say on it. It is a crossover between anime.
Okay, we all like anime here.
I think you will agree with this one. I would love to see a crossover of either, be it an episode or like a little mini series, kind of like a 5-episode kind of thing, between Mob from Mob Psycho 100
okay,
and Saiki K.
Dude, that would be... Explain to people who Saiki K is.
Saiki K is basically a god in his universe.
Yeah.
He's able to like altered the genetics of everyone in the world just so they could have weird hair color. So you can explain why there's weird hair color.
Explain who he is though. He is a psychic ability kind of guy. He has psychic powers. Just like Mob, but way on another level.
Yeah, he's on a level where he has to restrain himself because his powers uncontrollable would just destroy.
He wears these 2 little like hair clips on his head that like nerf his ability. And one episode, somebody actually bumped it and knocked it off, and it almost broke the world. Yeah,
like he touched the wall.
Somebody knocked it off his head. One of the 2 clips, just one of them, knocked off his head, and it's like craters started forming in the earth of like breaking the world. And he's like, "Oh God!" And he's like, put it back in his head, and it like fixed the world.
Yeah. Plus, being a psychic, that show goes into showing how horrible it would be, because he has absolutely no interest in mankind other than giving him pudding.
I feel like he's like Dr. Manhattan of anime.
Basically, because like he has no interest in
Anybody who doesn't know who that is, he's the big blue guy in Watchmen.
Yes.
DC's Watchmen.
Who is also basically a god.
Penis.
Yes, the blue penis. But Saiki, like, he has no interest in relationships because he doesn't understand why people would be attracted to anybody. He sees through everyone. He sees their bones and their muscle tissue. He doesn't see the outer layer. He just sees people as anatomy bodies.
Except for one guy. One person.
Who's like the ugliest,
dumbest person on the planet.
And so he's just like, I don't understand why people are attracted to people. It's so weird.
Okay, so explain to me how Mob would fit into this.
Okay, so Mob is all about wanting... He's extremely powerful, but personality-wise, he's almost exactly the opposite of him because he wants to fit in. He wants to have a normal life, where Saiki is just like, I want a normal life, but I want a normal life on my terms. Mob's like, I want a normal life compared to everybody else. Like, I want everybody else to like just live normally around me.
So then, but Saiki is so much more powerful than Mob.
Well, I'm not having them fight. I
know. I'm not saying they fight, but like knowing Sekikai's personality, he'd be like, "Oh, you have psychic powers too, but you don't fit my standards, so I'm gonna mold you into the way I want you to be."
Not necessarily.
And he would just change the universe into...
Not necessarily, because Saiki has come across a character that his powers simply don't work on. Who's to say they won't work on Mob?
Which character is that?
The ugly guy.
That's what you meant. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going through all the characters in my mind. I'm like, who are you talking about?
Yeah, the one who's just like, you're my best friend.
Go away.
It's quite possible that his powers wouldn't work on Mob as well. And
I can see Saiki like be like, you know, you look like a normal Japanese boy. I'm gonna change your hair color. And he's like, Mob's like, what have you done? I want to fit in with everybody.
Saiki does not. That's when Saiki doesn't really like alter people.
I know.
Randomly.
It would just be a funny little segment.
It would be a funny little segment.
Mob would be like, I just want to fit in with everybody else. I don't want to look any different. I don't want to draw any attention to myself. You have pink hair now. No! 100!
I feel like it's the exact opposite of what you're explaining. Mob would go in or meet Saiki and then meet all of the people around Saiki.
Oh, you're right. So he would want to change his book then.
Exactly. Like they're all weirdos and freaks considered under normal circumstances. So that guy's just like, what is up with the Mob would be the one be like, I want to be normal. What is up with all these weirdos? Wait, is this normal? Oh, I need to be like them then.
What if it's like he can't look normal in their
world?
And he's like,
that's
no!
When he goes 100. And Saiki like, no. You need to settle down.
Oh, that's cute. You could like explode with all this. That's cool. Stop.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
So I would love to see if, like, I don't want them to fight, but if it were to come down to a fight where Saiki would be like, do I actually have to take off my hairpins to fight this guy? Holy crap. Because Mob is not weak. He is incredibly powerful.
Mob is the psychic version of One Punch Man.
Yeah, he is insanely powerful, especially when he hits 100%. So I imagine he would force Saiki to take off his hairpins, but the moment he does, like, it's no
done.
win.
Like, yeah. Mob has no chance.
So I just think it would be a fun little interaction between two psychic kids who have trouble interacting with society, but for very different reasons. One, because he has no interest in society, and the other because he wants to fit into society so much.
Yeah, I can see that.
So yeah, and plus they're both two gag animes.
Yeah, like, 100% gag animes.
One is a gag action anime, but it's still a gag anime. So I just think hilarity would ensue.
All right. Well, you got anything else for your choices?
Nope, that is it.
We did actually have a comment on our Discord. which you could check out at all of the links below because I've got all my socials down there. And it is our buddy Ty with his funny comment. He said they should do a mixture between Disney and Final Fantasy. I don't know how that would go, man.
Yeah,
Nate, do you see that working out? I don't know how that would work. Disney and Final Fantasy? I don't know.
Considering how tightly Disney holds on to their IP.
Oh man, I don't think there's ever been a game that has Disney in Final Fantasy. I don't know what the key component to that would be, Nate.
Yeah, you'd have to make something completely up that has nothing to do with either one of them.
No keys, no friendship, no hearts, no kingdoms, doors. No hearts.
Can't have doors.
No doors. I can't figure out a kingdom made of hearts that would work there.
Yeah. The imagery of a kingdom made out of hearts, like that is terrifying right there.
It's like Alice in Wonderland, the kingdom, like the heart kingdom with the Queen of Hearts.
Oh, you're thinking a lot more nicer version of what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of like the beating hearts.
Oh no, you're going dark.
Yeah, like you have castles pumping blood because
like just like waterfalls of blood.
Yeah, like everything is just bloody, sinewy muscle.
It's like
of a heart.
Anti-Sora's like, welcome to my Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, this is nightmare fuel right now.
This is the nightmare version of Sora.
Oh, this is Freddy Krueger's Kingdom Hearts.
He enters Sora's mind and in dreams, and he's just like, this is what it should be.
The entire time Sora's dreaming. That's what's actually going on. Freddy Krueger's just hanging out.
That's what Sora's dreams are actually consisted of. Like, Sora's over there like, friendship, power, I'm gonna be the hero. And then like you dive into his, like Riku dives into his dream like, oh, Sora, we need to wake you up. He sees all this. He's like, what the f-?
To connect it to your persona, that's going to be his palace.
Oh, no! This is my Kingdom Hearts.
It's the one universe or one world where Sora's the bad guy.
Oh, that would suck.
And you have to play as the Persona crew to stop Sora.
Like, come on, Joker, we gotta go. That's the ultimate policy.
Donald and Goofy are the ones who are like, please help us stop our friend.
All right, well, if you got nothing else, that is it for the podcast today. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you're interested in more content, you can check out the link tree, which shows all of our other accounts. We'll have links to everything down below. And if you like this, please think about liking and subscribing if you're on YouTube. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. See you later.